All right, now, Kenny, we need to get this out of the way because we're frankly, we're stinging.
What's the matter?
Well, last time you were here, we spent some time, we talked about your place in Vegas.
Your ranch.
Yeah, we talked about the gatherings that you have there.
I talked about you guys on other television shows and radio shows.
Yeah, and we appreciate that.
okay.
Sure did, and we
Okay.
thank you for that.
Okay.
Oh, my
Okay.
God.
Okay.
Thank you.
There was an invitation thrown out.
Yeah.
One of your ranch gatherings.
Yeah.
Where
There was
Yeah.
a charitable event where, people come and you golf and you tennis.
Yeah.
And
my wife owned the farm at that time, my ex-wife.
Right.
She doesn't own it anymore. I've got it. Now you can come. Now you can come. My friends were persona non gratis at that time.
Ah.
Okay, see, that helps us
See,
out.
it makes you feel better, doesn't it?
Even if you're lying.
It was nothing.
That's cool.
Oh, please.
Well, no, I just want to know that was.
I mean, look me in the eyes and say you think I could lie to you.
All right, well, like I said, even if you are, it still makes us feel good.
Okay, good.
So,
Yeah.
so we're calm with
Worked,
that.
right. Ken. Worked. Yeah. You bet.
Let's continue the interview now. We
can-
can go forth.
You can fool some of the people some of the time. But you can fool Mark and Brian all the time.
You're dead right, baby. Just lie to us.
No, we actually showed up at the address it gave us, and Kenny Rogers doesn't live here. It was a much smaller ranch than we had thought.
Yeah, it
It was
really
a
was.
chicken farm.
Couple of chickens, yeah.
Hey, it worked out for us. All right, so let's go to some of the meatier stuff first. We see on this sheet of paper here that there is a television project. This is an $18 million production deal with NBC and CBS. Now, what is that?
Now, how long have you had that?
About 10 seconds.
Well, that's about 4 years old.
Is
It's
it?
for when we were doing the McShane thing and some other projects. And we do still have a situation where we have the right to do certain things if we can find the project. But I'm real project-oriented. I don't like to go do something just because I have the opportunity to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people know that. That's the reason they make these things available to us. But I am actually looking into a thing. A friend of mine who owns Hallmark Cards is one of the biggest. They produced Lonesome Dove and all that. And he really wants to get together. I mean, he's been, it's really funny. You work all your life so you're in a position to pick up the phone and call somebody on a first name basis. This guy's calling me at home. I love this, and I don't return his calls. I love that.
Oh, that's cool.
Play with
Makes
him.
you feel good, doesn't it?
Yeah, you know what? He's going to quit calling.
We didn't ask you last time. I always wanted this. I'm going to go right down the list here real quickly of all the awards. Most of them. 3 Grammys, 11 People's Choice Awards, 18 American Music Awards, 5 Country Association Awards, 8 Academy and Country Music Awards, 9 Platinum Albums, 5 Multi-Platinum, 1 Platinum Single. You've got all these awards. Do you have a special room in one of your houses somewhere across the land where you put all these things?
Okay. You're not going to believe this, but when I moved back into the farm, they have been sitting in boxes. And only because, let me tell you why. I went into, and I won't mention his name because he's a good friend of mine. And I went into his house one day, and it was like this little shrine. And I thought, I don't like that. I mean, that's like living off past laurels to me. I have them all, and what I did is I took them out of the boxes the other day and put them because I'm really thinking about doing something in another area with them. And I really was kind of amazed, and it's very impressive when you see them all sitting together. But
Understand the shrine to yourself would be kind of tough. Here's my trophy room. Please go visit it.
and that's how it feels to me.
Yeah. So they're in boxes.
Especially when there's only me and my girlfriend there. I mean, it's
Okay.
like, hey, come in, Wanda, let me show you my trophies.
That's exactly what I did.
Well, you got 3 Grammys. Why don't you save one for yourself and give 2 to us?
I could do that.
We've never had a Grammy before.
Write that down, Ken.
Ken, if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure.
I could do that.
I could do that.
I could.
Here's my Grammy.
No, I will. I'll send you guys a Grammy.
No,
I
you
promise.
won't.
Yeah, I will.
Don't start this.
Listen. You can trust me.
All right. Now, Kenny.
If I can break into Lionel's house, I will send you a Grammy. No, I promise you, I'm going to send you one.
All right, he's going to give us a Grammy.
I'm going to give you a
All
Grammy.
right, now, what you don't understand is, now, hear this, and Ken, you'll understand, you'll relate to this. We audio tape everything on this program. It's on tape, what you just said.
Oh.
22 cities just heard you say that.
Oh.
Now, we can replay that in a court of law.
Well,
You know what he's going to do?
I am going to try to send you a Grammy.
He's going to send us one day a grandma stripper will come in here. Hey, Grammy.
Ready.
Hi, Grammy.
That's not bad, too.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of, we talked about this last time, and we have tried, off the air, going through his people to get this man on the program, but you just mentioned, and I think you still talk with him periodically, is Lionel Richie. What's up with him?
Oh, God, don't ask me.
You don't know?
No, I got to tell you something. I've always considered Lionel Richie one of my best friends. We went through a period of time where he wouldn't return my phone calls, and I thought, I'm really working too hard for this friendship. So I just quit. I said, I don't care anymore. Never mind.
Well, things were weird for him probably. And
yeah, but I mean, they've been weird for me too,
Sure.
I mean, I figured if anything, we're friends and we can kind of stand by each other and all this stuff. So I let it go. So about 6 months ago or 4 months ago, I came up with this concept to do an album where I try to get Lionel to write a song for me, Barry Gibb to write a song for me, Dolly Parton to write a song for me, Elton John to do something.
Right.
Just a kind of a, not duets, because everybody's done that to this, but just, and maybe during the process I would take their picture and put it in the book, with it, you know, the thing. It's just a marketing vehicle. So I called Lionel. Oh, man, I'm so glad to hear from you. God, I've missed talking to you. It's wonderful. How are you doing? I said, fine. Guess what? I'm going to be in L.A. in a couple of weeks to do the American Music Awards. And I said, I've got this idea for a song, and I'd love for you to write something. Oh, man, you can count me in. I called him 2 days ago. Never returned my call again. So I don't know. So I don't think he's...
Maybe it was that invitation to your ranch that...
yeah.
He's still sticking from that
He
one,
was
too.
out there, too. 2 chickens. Like,
No, but that happened to me last time. One time I was here in town, and I walked by his place. We drove up to his place, and I got out, and I rung the buzzer. And they have this little video camera, and the security guard says, may I help you? I said, yeah, I'm here to see Lionel. He said, and I said, you're going to tell me he's not here? I said, I can't believe this. He invited me here for dinner today, for lunch today, and I've got 4 people in the car, and I'm coming in. This
hungry.
guy was besides himself. Lionel wasn't there. I mean, it was just, I was just
man.
joking with the guy. But, you know, Lionel never even called me to tell me that he...
all right, we're here to help you, Kenny. You've been good
You
to us.
call
We want to be
Lionel
good to
for
you. Ken, do you have that number? No, let's get the number. We'll call him, and we'll get an answer machine, maybe,
That'd be
but maybe
great.
he'll be there.
That'd be great to
All
get
right,
Lionel Richie.
we're going to
on the
try to
line.
hunt down the number.
Okay.
And then he hadn't returned your call. Maybe something happened.
You know, I think I figured it out. He doesn't like me. You know, I don't know how long. It just dawned on me just now when I recounted our history.
Weren't you always?
He doesn't like me.
Of course he does.
But you
He-
were close for a long time, weren't you?
I thought we were.
Yeah.
I mean, he wrote and gave to you,
Yeah.
Lady.
When we first met, we were very, very close friends. In fact, he was living in Tuskegee, Alabama. Maybe this is it. He was living in Tuskegee, Alabama. And I said, you know, Lionel, if you're going to do anything, you really need to live in L.A. I introduced him to Ken Cragen. Maybe that's what it was. I introduced him to Ken Cragen, and he moves to L.A., lives in my guest house when I had the house up in the hills.
Wow.
And lived there for like a couple of years.
That's a friend.
Then I left town. I went to Georgia. So he always tells me, you move me out of here, then you move away, you know. So
Maybe he's pissed at you about that.
it's probably just petty women jealousy here. I don't know.
Either that or it might be a white thing.
Or he does. He doesn't like me. I mean, the
Maybe
bottom
not.
line is he doesn't want to be my friend.
Yeah, if you face that, maybe if that's how you want to rationalize it, it'll help you out. Makes you a healthier man.
It's kind of closure.
Yeah,
You know,
that's what it
it's-
is.
Yeah, it's closure.
Well, we'll make sure we get him on the phone here. We'll try
Okay.
our best.
All right, now, is Lionel doing something on the American Music Awards? Rita
No.
seems to think that
I didn't hear that, and he didn't share that with me. So, what a great idea to just punch him in the mouth. Right before the show.
Right,
Just get it all out in the open.
Hey.
Now, that would be a good
Just say,
segment.
you know what? I don't like you either. How's that?
Presenting the awards, Lionel Richie, Kenny Rogers.
That's good TV, man.
Yeah, there it is.
So now you are presenting a special award to Tammy Wynette.
An award of merit. Yes.
Okay, and so how is it that came about that you would, are you and Tammy?
She's a good friend of mine, and I've known her for, she and her husband both, George, I've known them for 25 years. He used to be a publisher. In fact, I think he was the publishing rep or the publisher for Lucille and Coward of the County and those songs, you know, when he was in Nashville. But he's just a great guy, and she has had the worst luck these last 10 years of her life. And I'm doing a photography book of country music stars, and I've got about maybe 50% of it done, and I took her picture about 5 years ago, and it is a beautiful picture. So I'm glad that I had a chance to get that picture. But I'm so excited for her because I know this will mean a lot to her. When you go a period of time, but it's really interesting. The last few years, I've seen a lot of stuff coming on about Tammy, how she's getting that bubbling under thing. And I do think that country radio is going to change drastically in the next year.
How so?
I just think that there's too many non-identifiable, like you can hear 25 records and you can't put a face to any of them because they're not around long enough. They have one hit or two hits. And there's this new country thing, by virtue of its name, is so limiting. You don't get a chance to build any heroes. And I think every art form needs heroes. You need someone that the kids are saying, boy, I want to be like him when I grow up. And right now, they're all wearing hats and they're all 35 and younger, you know. And I think you end up with kind of a monotone on radio. All the songs sound alike.
All right, correct me if I'm wrong here, but it seems to me just in I like some country. I'm one of those kind of guys. I like good country, or I like this song, particular song. But it seems to me that the heroes pop up. And then when they do, everybody rushes to want to emulate that, and then it gets so clogged, so clouded, so many people doing the same kind of thing. It's cyclical, and then you go another few years where country's not on top, and then suddenly there's a couple more heroes.
That is true. However, the way radio is structured now, there's no chance to be a hero. There is no, you know how heroes are created? They have a song you like, they do some TV shows, they do some radio shows, you get to hear them talk, you like them, you like what they're saying, so you listen to the next song with a kinder ear. You know, and this goes on, and that's how heroes are made. I mean, once you have 2 or 3 hit records, then your records become hits because they're yours, not because you're doing a wonderful song. But it's interesting how when they all sound alike to start with, and no one stands out right now because everyone's afraid to break that mold because they won't get played. And you miss, if you're hot in the rotation. I mean, I was listening to somebody talking about Alan Jackson the other day, and they were saying that all these guys are scared to death not to do the same thing they've been doing, because if they step out a bit and it's not accepted, they're out of the rotation and they don't get back in. And so, I mean, it's a terrible place to be, because if you can't experiment, you can't have growth personally and artistically.
So what's the problem with the people not wanting to experiment? Because they're afraid of it, or because the record companies won't let them?
They're afraid of it. I think that as an artist, you become so afraid of that what you've created is more important than you are, and you're afraid that if you want to step out and say, you know, I've always loved the Four Freshmen, I'd like to do a country song and use the four, just to try something, you know, that's not there for you anymore.
You know, country radio, country music was always very good to you. And looking back many years ago, you may have been one of the very first to take your country status and move it over into adult radio, top 40 radio, and with that basis, you also started bringing in strings, orchestration, and one of the, you know, normally your country hits were ding digga digga ding, but yours moved from that. And were you one of the first to do that?
I think so. I mean, historically, I can't tell you that. I think I was the first to have the major success with it, but there may have been other people doing it before. In fact, I think Charlie Rich did some songs that had real nice strings on them before I did. And but my thing really, if you look at who becomes the heroes, usually it's brought on by a specific event that happens. I mean, heroes are created around moments. And it's like, you know, Johnny Cash was really the biggest country star before I came along. And then when what happened to me, I'm a country singer who's had a lot of other musical influences. I was in jazz for 10 years, you know, and I've done a lot. I was with the New Christy Minstrels, the first edition, and those are all part of my musical roots. And it's hard for me to, if I hear a change, it's hard for me, even though it's a jazz change, it's hard for me not to put it in there because it's country music. So, but my success came about because of the Urban Cowboy movie. You know, when that came out with John Travolta, I had a record on there, Love the World Away, that was on that album, and all of a sudden it became very hip to be country. And so then everybody kind of jumped on that country bandwagon and started wearing their cowboy hats. Well, Garth Brooks' success, I believe, and I'll stand corrected if someone can correct me, but the way I understand it happened is he was obviously selling a tremendous amount of records, but it was country, and he wasn't getting the identification that he needed. All of a sudden, they went to SoundScan, where if record sold goes across the SoundScan, and it shows up, and now they change the way they're billing things to the person who sells the most records is the #1 artist. Well, Garth became the #1 pop artist overnight. And all of a sudden, it was like, where did this guy come from? And so he created his own. And I say, God bless him, he deserves it. But that's what I mean about how people become stars because of certain events that happen.
All right, let's talk about Garth, because he was the scenario you just said. He came out of nowhere, and now he's not as big
because he dared to experiment. He did a cover of a Kiss record.
It was great.
It really is great.
But if you listen, you know, I did a record called what was the name of that song, Ken? That was Planet Texas. It was a great record, but it didn't sound like anything else on the radio. And everybody says, oh, give us something new. We're tired of the old stuff. So I give them this record, and every radio station said, you know, we're so scared about losing points that if we play that, we're afraid people won't know they're stopping on this radio station, and we'll lose them.
It's like the old song, I Went to a Garden Party.
Yeah, exactly.
They say they want to hear something new.
Rick Nelson, yeah.
Well, I mean, for example,
you know, having said all that, it's a business, and you understand that, and you play by the rules, and you learn the rules, and then you learn the way to get around them, and that's why I'm doing all this other stuff, waiting for music to come back, and I'll guarantee you, in the next year, I will be played on country radio. May not be a hit, but I will be played on country radio.
Coming back from wherever we were yesterday, my girlfriend loves country, and we were listening to it on her car radio, and I made an observation, and maybe you guys haven't made this observation, and if you haven't, next time, listen to it. It's like every country song tells a story.
Yeah, well, you know, I picked up on it. Yeah, you're right.
You know what?
Yeah.
That's where I've been missing.
See?
Oh,
See?
damn it! Damn it!
You know,
Okay.
you think you know it all, then one day.
All right, we're going to be right back with Kenny Rogers and we can put you on the phone with a 1-800-955-5567 or call the hotline. Everyone seems to know that. We'll be back. Don't go with Kenny Rogers.
We'll return after this. It's the Mark and Brian program, 95.5 KLOS.
Mark O'Brien with Kenny Rogers and Ken Cragen, his manager, who's also in with us. He's been a guest on our program.
All right, now, there's all kinds of crap going on with you, Kenny. Now, one thing is you've got this...
And you're proud of that crap, aren't you?
I am.
Yeah.
I'm
Good way to
I
Damn
have
proud
some
of
of the better crap going on in my life of anybody you'll ever know.
Kevin has a good... you do have a new album out, and it's sort of being distributed in a different
Yes,
sort of
but
way.
guess what?
There's two things.
You cannot get it unless you buy the video.
Well, let's get Kevin on the phone. He's a listener. He wants to know how we can get it. Kevin?
Hey, how's it going, Kenny?
Hi, Kevin. How are you?
Ryan, good to talk to you.
Hey.
Thank you.
Hey, I was wondering when is your album going to be released, and what can I expect on this album?
Well, Kevin, here's what's happening. This is kind of interesting. Right now, it's really tough, and we were talking about it before that we came back on the air, about how hard it is for me to get airplay right now on country radio because it's all young country. So QVC came up with a really clever idea. I don't know whether you have the QVC.
I saw you on there.
Really? Well, this is the album. They took, in the month of September, they asked all their voters to vote for their 3 favorite love songs. We put them on the computer, and I did the top 30 love songs of all time by these people.
Oh.
And I think if you like love songs, it's a wonderful album.
And what are you charging for that album on QVC?
I personally am not charging anything. QVC, however, is charging, I think, $19.95 or something.
Oh,
for
that's
it.
a bargain. Hey,
It is. It's 30 songs.
I think you should try that old thing with Dolly Parton and Porter Wagner. Porter Wagner, you can only get them in boxes of breeze. Remember that old commercial?
I can do that.
Yeah,
That's my new plan. Hey, Kevin, thanks for calling. If you like love songs, I really think you'll like it. It is a unique concept of how to do that. It has been phenomenally successful.
Yeah.
But now, what about this? Well, first of all, you got on here She Believes in Me, and you got...
Lady, through
Yeah.
the years, you decorated my life.
Did you redo those?
Yes, I redid them. Everything on here is cut new.
Okay, but now, this is separate from Timepiece.
Yes,
Okay, let's talk about Timepiece, because this also involves David Foster.
right.
All right, let's talk about that.
David, I think, is one of the most gifted, talented musician,
Yeah.
composer, arrangers I have ever met in my life. And David came to me when he realized I was struggling trying to get country airplay, and he said, I think a clever way for you to go, I had these jazz roots from 10 years ago, from when I first started music. And he said, he had done the Unforgettable album with Natalie Cole. And he said, I really kind of think I have a feel for this era, and I would like to do this as a project with you. And we did this album, and we went and did all the songs that I did when I was a kid in the jazz group, and he did Jeremy Lubbock and, oh my God, my mind's blanking on me, the other arranger. But they just did the most wonderful arrangements on it. It's a 60-piece orchestra.
Now, when is that going to be out?
That's out. It's been out about 4 or 5 months, 6 months, I guess.
How's it going?
Not doing well. It's it's a very small market. And it was never intended to be. You always hope to capture the imagination of the public. That was something that I did for my legacy. That was something that I had always wanted to do, and David was nice enough to let me do it. And both of us said, "Boy, wouldn't it be great if it sold?" But if it didn't, neither one of us were going to take it personal.
All right, let's go to Penny on 11. You're on there with Kenny Rogers.
Hi,
Hi, Penny. How are you?
I'm fine. Are you going to do a sequel to The Gambler? I'm really into those Western, and you?
Well, if I'm still young, if I can still ride horses, the truth is I love the character and I would love to do it. But like everything, the last one didn't do as well as the 4 before that. Now, a lot of things can be taken into play for that. But you get to a point to where, you ride that horse to death. But if someone came to me with a great script, I would really consider doing it because I like the character and I love the Old West. It's really a fun thing to do.
Maybe a buddy movie with you and Lionel.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, that'd be good.
That'll work out
All right,
nice.
Carl on 13. Good question. Carl?
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hi, Kenny.
Hi, Carl. How are you?
You're great, by the way.
Thank you.
And who, Mark O'Brien.
Hey, Carl.
I just wanted to ask, what happened to your restaurant in Fresno?
I don't know. Is it not there anymore? Did someone take it? When we first, I'll tell you what happened. For those of you who don't know, I have a chicken franchise called Roasters, and we don't want to get into commercial here. But in answer to your question, we started off letting a lot of friends of ours have franchises who really didn't know anything about the fast food business. And we've had 5 or 6 of them that we've really had problems with. They took bad locations in order to get in the business quickly, and they knew the concept was good. But, it's location, and then franchisee. The guys behind it that understand the business are important.
The food was really good, by the way. the way.
Thank you, and I'm sure it'll be back there again, either in a different location or with a different franchisee. And no offense to the franchisee, sometimes you just get in over your head in some of these things. But I will promise you the food is great, and you'll see them everywhere in the next 4 or 5 years.
Cool. Can I ask you a question, Mark and Brian?
Sure.
Do you guys have a list of what stations you play on so when we travel we can get you?
We do.
Yep.
We do. Do you have a computer?
Yes.
It's on our website, and
Okay.
they'll even give you the numbers. If not, you can call the switchboard.
We'll fax you one.
Thanks very much.
All right, man.
When you look back over your career, which I mean is an incredibly large, expanding, huge thing, because it involves records and movies and restaurants and whatever. But as you look back over the span of that career, if you were to sit in a chair and look back over it, is there something that took place in that career, a decision you made that you wished you hadn't made, that you had done that differently, or you had moved this way instead of that way?
No, in all fairness, and I think that's the key to anyone who is majorly successful, is the key to someone who's successful is that they know when to move. You always move when you have your most strength. You know, but a lot of my moves have not been moves I've decided to make. They were moves that were put on me. The Bobby Doyle Trio, the jazz group, broke up. I had to find a job. So coincidentally, the guy I knew that managed the New Christy Minstrels called me and said, "You want to work here?" I said, "Sure." So we went to work there. The 4 of us who were in the first edition were all in members of the New Christy Minstrels, and we just got tired of singing Green Green. It wasn't our hit, and they weren't recording anymore, so we were living off someone else's laurels. So we started our group. Then the first edition broke up. I begged them, stay with me. I never wanted to be a solo singer. You know, so everything has kind of been dictated. The one thing, my decision that really I think was a decision I had to make was leaving Houston, where I was a big fish in a little pond, and I was really kind of hesitant to leave there. And I took a pay cut and everything else to end up out in California, but I think that was a smart move for me.
You figure?
Yeah, I think in retrospect.
Looking back.
Otherwise, I could still be selling carpet paper there.
I'll be at the boat show this
That's
weekend.
right.
Come by and check me out. I got a big show going
And I
on.
got a ranch. Everybody come over.
You're so bitter. You're so bitter.
Where do you hope to see yourself in maybe 10 years from now? Like, are you touring, and do you want to move more into that? And
Oh, sure. I mean, the main focus of my year is the Christmas show. I start about November. We're gradually working our way back to Easter with this Christmas show. It started off 10 days before Christmas. Now we're the day after Thanksgiving we start. That's a huge show. We're all up in the Northeast. And we do it every year, almost the same cities. We change a few of them. But it's become a huge deal and a much bigger production. And, you know, we're going to have live animals and stuff. And,
hey,
but it's really wonderful.
that could always be good.
You know, we talked about this last time you were in here, but we do have adding new cities all the time. They've got to hear this story. We were in Laughlin a while back, and we saw one of those imitation shows. What do they call
this is
them?
great. This is Vegas.
Yeah, the one I was in was in Laughlin.
Oh, okay.
But then he went to Vegas and did this.
Legends.
Legends,
Yeah.
a legend show. They're all over places like this, and they're stars. And of course, there's a Cher, and there's a Michael Jackson, and there's maybe a Neil Diamond, but
And
there's
Elvis.
always an Elvis, and there's always a Kenny Rogers. Well, we went to this thing in Laughlin. I think it was the Riverside somewhere, and you know, they introduced Kenny Rogers. He comes out and looked just like you, sang horrendously, but no one seemed to care.
Yeah, it was, you know.
Because he had your look. He looked just like it. So we told you about this, and we suggested that you go to one of these legend shows and you walk on stage as the Kenny Rogers impersonator. And you did.
I did.
Yeah.
And
Las
nobody
Vegas.
knew about this. This wasn't an announced thing.
No,
You just
that
did
was
it.
part of the deal, is that no one, and even the people there wouldn't know I was going to do it until the night of the show. That was what made it so much fun.
Where was it in Vegas?
In Las Vegas, at a place called Legends. They have their own theater there.
right.
And so we went in, and I went over, and I worked out the songs in the afternoon with the band.
Jeez, that's
And
cool.
they had a girl that looked, and I swear to God, sang like Dolly Parton. I mean, it was like I was singing with her. And,
Wow.
and it was strange. I mean, it was really a phenomenal thing. But we did these two songs, and what was really funny is watching people's faces, because they didn't say, hey, here's Kenny Rogers, and I come out and I'm singing, and I see people, and they're looking, they're going, look, maybe no. And I mean, they couldn't get a handle on you because they're expecting to see someone who looks and sounds like me.
Absolutely.
And so I went out and I signed autographs, and I signed Kenny Rogers, and they're going, "You're not the real one." I said, I'm just signing autographs right and left here.
It had to be
Really
fun for you.
Oh, it was. I've never laughed so hard in my life, you know. And people would tell me, "Oh, you're so much better than the real guy." So well, thank you.
Well, know this, people. If you go see the Legend Show, Kenny still does that once a week at some Legend show.
Somewhere.
Somewhere. You don't know, but he said once a week he'll do it.
That's just so I can always tell people, yes, I'm still performing.
You know, you actually came to mind a while back, was watching on PBS, was watching this Nixon Watergate, an incredibly riveting documentary on those years and Watergate and whatever. And thought back to something you said on this program the last time you were here, and I'm moving into the phone call situation, in that you had gotten on the phone and had some fun and done what we all do, in that you were having some explicit conversations with some friends and whatever. It's your business. But the fact of the matter, it came out, and so you just said, okay, yeah, what's the problem with it? I don't understand. Nixon never did that. He never came out and said, okay, yeah, I did. And it would have gone away if he had.
That's the problem is it starts as a small problem, and if you don't deal with it, it becomes a big problem, and then people wonder why you didn't deal with it earlier if it is a small problem.
Because the biggest problem is that he didn't fess up to whatever was going on.
And it seems like the best thing you can do to put it into the locus, the feeding of the media, is just go, yeah, I did it.
Yeah, and the truth is,
slams the brakes.
That's kind of always the way I've handled things, is because I've never done anything in my life that I'm embarrassed or ashamed of. Because it's the thing I was talking to you about earlier, that I've always tried. My mom taught me when I was a kid, always err on the side of good judgment. When in doubt, do the better part. So what I did, I was an adult and I was dealing with adult people, and at the time it seemed to be the safest sex you could find,
Absolutely.
And absolutely it's the most expensive, but it is the safest. But it really is. I mean, it's a sad thing when your friends disappoint you. That's all I had. That's what hurt me more. It wasn't so much
What are you
all the other
speaking of?
stuff, in the things in the sex things, the sex tapes, because you're talking to people and they're asking for this, and you're having a good time as adults. I was separated at the time. It wasn't anything I was doing behind Marianne's back. I mean, I had the right to do it. And these are people that I knew and thought and I'd actually helped these people in times and things in their life. And then all of a sudden they have this slam back in my face. I mean, it just broke my heart. I think that was one of the most damaging things, because I saw OJ on television the other day, or I saw something by talking about him, said that the problem that he's going to suffer is that he's a guy with a great ego, and he has always been adored and loved by everyone, unquestioned. Now, even if he's found innocent, and even if people decide, they're always going to look at him differently. And that's what bothered me, because you start talking to someone and you wonder if they know about this, you wonder what they think about, and it really taints your own feelings about yourself, even though in your heart you've done nothing wrong. So, because you worry about, perception is reality.
Are you feeling some of that?
Not now. I did for about a year after that. It was. I mean, it just broke my heart, because I've never had anybody feel they were too good to associate with me because of anything I've ever done. But I mean, that was a tough time for me. I literally shut down. And more because of the friendship. I mean, if I do something wrong, throw me in the slammer. I deserve it, and I believe that strongly. I mean, I know the laws, I know the rules, and I knew that what I was doing wasn't wrong. And I mean, these were adults and consenting, and there's no point in bringing all that up again. But the fact is, it was.
What you say is true, though. I mean, you didn't break a law. You didn't do anything wrong. You did what a lot of people do on a regular basis.
Yeah, and was having a great time with it, And it was, you travel around and it's fun. You try to, you think, pick and choose who you do this with. I just picked and chose the wrong people, I guess.
You got a phone
I'm
number?
calling you next time.
But great. You trusted him at the time.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
And that's the sad part. That hurts more than anything else.
Okay.
All right.
But if you do call us,
we're ending on such a happy note.
We got what you need,
We'll
baby.
treat you right.
Hey, now.
And we're not going to, betray the friendship.
You'd do anything for a Grammy, wouldn't you?
That's right. You're sending it, man. You owe us.
All right, let us take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll take some more calls. We are locatable at 1-800-955-5567. Kenny Rogers is on the Mark and Brian program. We'll see you in a minute. 95.5 KLOS.
All right, Kenny, you don't know this, but as soon as you mentioned Lionel Richie not returning your phone calls, we thought, hey, we're going to help you out. Well, Rosemary immediately ran to the office. She dug through the file of facts, made a few calls, and we hold Lionel Richie's number in our
I'll tell you
hand.
what I'll do right now. I will put $20 on the table that says that is not Lionel Richie's phone number.
All right.
He changes his number every 10 days.
More than we do. Okay.
I'll guarantee you. Wait.
$10.
Hey, this is all ones. This is my Mark and Brian roll. You guys busted me last night.
Now you brought one. You had hundreds.
How much was I going to?
You were going to put $1 down, but we'll,
no,
20?
$10.
Okay.
$20.
All right. All right, you're covered.
Okay.
You're covered.
Yeah, no. I need to see some green, boys.
Kenny, listen, first of all, you need to deal with the fact that we, Mark and Brian, got one hell of a Rolodex. You got no idea who we got.
Well, unless you updated it this morning, that will not be Lionel's number.
Check it out, then.
Okay.
You check it out.
Okay.
Wait till you see what we got going on.
$20.
All right, baby. Here we go. We're about to win us some cash.
Yeah.
We trust in that Rolodex. Turn your mic on.
There's one ring. There's two rings. Lionel! Kidding. 3 rings. Now, if he hears the answering machine, he'll pick up, right? If we give him a little message. Say it's from you. Do we say it's from you?
It's the grab bag.
There's 4 rings. So right now it's a limbo between you two, right? You're really not sure?
You get $10 because he didn't.
Well,
No, I don't. See, he won't even answer the phone.
No.
He's listening to the show.
Doesn't even
he won't
have
answer the phone.
doesn't even have an answering machine hooked up. That's 6 rings. We give it 7 rings here on Dialing for a Dollar.
Yes, we do.
Now there's 8 rings.
Redial it under the music, and if it comes up, fine.
Yeah, you dial it again. That's 310, right?
Because we know this is the right number.
Yeah, you just want the $20. You don't
Well,
care
I mean,
about
yeah,
the
that
20
too.
too.
Because, 20 is hard to come by, frankly. And we'll take it when we can get it.
Last time you were here, in fact, we should tell the new listeners this. We play the thing sometimes with the more, in the money celebrities. We play how much you carrying, and we all took a bet, and I forget. I think I said $50. Because you're a big star, you credit and all that. You have people carrying your money. And I think Rita took it. She said $600, and you ended up coming in with $1,400 or something.
Some
Just big, huge roll.
Yeah, I mean, a wad of cash came
I'm
out.
very insecure.
You gotta have cash with
I
it.
heard a story once that Red Skelton used to carry $50,000 cash in his pocket at all times. That he had something happen to him when he was a kid, and he didn't have the money to do it or something or other. And he carried $50,000 cash in his pocket at all times.
Where is he right now?
What?
I don't know.
Let's roll
I'm
him.
dialing.
Did you hang up on him?
Yes.
Well, how can we do that? All right, here you go. Well, all right, now, you just get your 20 ready.
$20.
Dial them back.
Well, that doesn't tell you anything. Can I help you?
Well, we've got to
could
find
be a
out.
dentist's office, for God's sake.
Was it a woman or a man? It was a woman. Okay.
Oh.
What's his
when a
relation?
man
Is he married
loves a
or?
woman. That's none of my business.
Okay.
Oh,
All
we
right.
shouldn't have hung up because it's busy now.
Yep.
This is it.
Yep. Give the phone to Rosemary. She'll do a professional. Hi, I'm the
I
producer.
love your background music.
That's dialing music.
All right, we
Yeah.
got
it
to
is.
try it back in a minute because it's busy. It's
Okay.
still busy, whoever it was.
Keep trying, Rosemary.
Either
And
stay
give
on
her
the
that
phone
cool
or-
professional producer thing.
Now, this double CD you got here, this is only available on QVC.
For the time being, I think that what'll happen, it was designed for Valentine's, and that's a special price, as I said, because there's 30 songs on there. So what they're probably going to do is after Valentine's Day, it'll go into distribution, and you'll be able to get it in other places.
Where are you currently? What is your?
Just like you can all the other crap I've got.
Oh yeah, that. What is your present residence? Are you in Vegas?
I live in Georgia. I live at my farm in Georgia, where I invited you guys to come.
Wait a minute. Hang on now. Last time we talked, you got the spread in Vegas.
Oh, you know what? That's what happened.
Yeah, you told us an entirely different state.
No, you guys went to Vegas.
Yeah.
I live in Georgia.
Well, you see, you moved and you didn't tell us.
Sorry
we didn't
about
get that. My address has
I gave
changed.
it to Rosemary. I thought you had a great Rolodex.
Well,
Yeah.
we
You should
but we
know
never
those
look
things.
in it.
Ah.
She's the one keeps up with it.
Okay.
Now, the last time
Now
we
you're
talked,
invited to Georgia. It's going to cost you a hell of a lot more to get there.
Jesus, that's not. But now the sprawling.
3 chickens.
Do you still have the house in Vegas?
No, I sold it.
All right. What do you got in Georgia?
I have 1,200 acres. It's the old house I used to have when I was married to that girl. And
You got that back.
yeah,
How is Marlo Thomas?
she's fine.
Good.
But now, is this a spread you got? Whereabouts
Yeah,
is this?
it's pretty cool. I mean, this was one when I was really kind of bored and doing things, and I have this huge house. It's 1,200. It's in Athens, Georgia, where the University of Georgia is. And I built my own golf course. I designed it all.
That's the one.
61 Yeah, 6,100 acres.
And you decorated your own house.
I decorated
See, you'd
my
think
life.
that many acres, there'd be a little room for us.
There's
for
room
like
you.
4 hours.
There is room for you.
All right.
Yeah, but
If you can find me.
You know what? You could broadcast live for the 4 hours from Kenny Rogers Ranch
What a
in Georgia.
great idea.
Isn't that a cool
Hey,
idea?
let's do it. Rosemary, write that down.
now, how long have you been with this lady that
3
Wanda?
years. Wanda. 3 years. Wanda Miller.
Does she still like you? Seem to?
No, but
right.
she's a great girl. I mean, this is an interesting story because when I first met Wanda, she was 26, and her parents, did not like this at all.
But you're
And-
Kenny Rogers. How
well,
could they not like that?
No, because first of all, it was right in the middle of all that other stuff. So it didn't, I didn't come in
Didn't
with
sit
good
good.
credentials, as you'll say. But, I have since then met her mother and father, and they are wonderful. They spent Christmas with us, and her dad is one of these guys that can do anything. And he comes down and he gets 8 hours a day, hard work, and he loves to come down there and do all this stuff with the carpenters and things. We're building a bunch of stuff. And I mean, it's been so rewarding for me and for her, because, that's a tough thing when your parents don't approve, no matter how old you are. You always want your parents to be proud.
Well, every guy goes through this. It'd be interesting to know if you, as Kenny Rogers goes through this, meeting the family for the first time, they didn't approve it at first, and now they're coming over, you're going to meet them.
Right.
Are you nervous? Are you pressured to please them? Do you want to make a good impression?
Well, I want to make a good impression, but I think that truthfully, I have nothing to hide. I'm not embarrassed of anything. And I think that if they give me a chance and let me be me, if I have to be something else to please them, it's a temporary, please. And I don't like that. So it was really wonderful the way it happened. Her mom didn't want any part of it, and her dad took a plane and came to Las Vegas when I was there and said, I want to meet this guy. And he came out, and I had a boat at the time on Lake Powell. And I took him out, and he and I got up on top of that boat for 4 hours, and we talked for 4 hours. And I said, look.
About everything?
Well, yeah. I mean, he just wanted to know what my deal was. Like she's 26 and you're 57 at the time, whatever it was, 55 at the time. And he said, why this? And I said, look, you can't explain that. I met her, and I thought she was wonderful, and we became friends. And as it developed, it became more than that. And he said, well, aren't you married? And I said, well, at the time I was married, but we were separated. And so, but my divorce was pending, and everything was, it was all above board as far as I was concerned.
It was just weird for them.
Yeah, but once he expected there to be a lot of drugs and a lot of alcohol. I don't drink at all. And I do things. We get out and we play golf, and we go out and we do things, and we cook together, and it's a pretty cool life. It's a pretty normal life, except for the fact that we go all over the world doing it, And I think he was impressed with the fact that I didn't, try to blow smoke, and I just said, look, I respect your not understanding this, and I don't expect you to change because I think it's okay. If it's never okay with you, then don't change your mind, But if you can just cut us some slack, at least let her be your daughter, let her come visit you, keep me out of it. She won't ever mention me when she comes there. But I think once I gave them the benefit of not approving me, they approved me. You know what I mean? Because a lot of this was religious conviction. They're very religious people, and it was hard for them to deal with it. And I said, I do not expect you to compromise your religion to make me comfortable. But if you can see any way to accept it, I make her happy. I swear to you, I will never lie to her. I will never lie to you. And if that's not good enough for you, what do you want for your daughter? You need to step back and find out what it is you really want your daughter
They probably
to do.
expected to come and see you dancing around a snake pit with sheep leggings on or something.
We did that 3 days before. Thank God we got that out of the way.
All right, let us take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll take some more calls. We are locatable at 1-800-955-5567. Kenny Rogers is on the Mark and Brian program. We'll see you in a minute. 95.5 KLOS. Now, once again, because of the fact that none of us will ever live in the kind of spread you got a few questions. Just answer them as honestly as you know how.
Okay. Because we're obviously never going to see it.
No, you're going to see it. If you come there, if I build it, you will come.
Okay.
No, but if you come, I will give you a Grammy.
Okay.
All right. Okay, Rosemary?
All right.
Okay.
Do you play golf?
We're going to go broadcast.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Very
bring
well.
it on.
Incredible.
All right.
Yeah.
So, golf course, how many holes?
18.
How many golf carts do you have on the property?
8.
Okay. All right. Do you have a permanent groundskeeper for the golf course?
22 people.
22 people are on the payroll taking just care of the golf course.
All right, this is good
cutting
stuff.
grass and planting flowers.
Okay, that's good stuff.
Now, do you have professional golfers over? And
Yeah, we had an event there, the classic weekend. Where
no, we don't.
Whoa, sorry.
No, we don't.
Do you have a person who is there every day, a golf person who is there dealing with the golf course?
Well, not as a player, or just no. I have a groundskeeper, and then there are 21 people under him who do things as we
Around
go,
the grounds.
as we need things.
All right. How many horses do you have?
4. My answers are faster than your questions. Aren't they?
Yeah, they are. You're throwing them out.
All right, servants.
Well, I don't have any servants.
Well,
That
what
went
do you
out
call
in
them?
the
All right, how many
1880s.
house people?
I have just 2 people that take care of the house, and I have a security guy that's there with me.
Uh-huh.
And that's it in the house.
How many bedrooms?
12 bedrooms in the house.
Are any of these people allowed
One
to talk to
bathroom.
you?
It's strange, though, isn't it? It's an unusual thing.
There's a
you know
lineup
what?
is-
You know what? These people have worked for me for 15 years. When I
12
bought this
bedrooms.
place, these are the same people that I hired when I first went there. That's the one thing I've really loved about what's happened with me is that I have a guy who's worked with me for 25 years on the road. Some of my band members have been with me 20 years, 22 years. And how long have you been? 29 years. Ken Cragen has been with me. So
How many kitchens you got?
I have one kitchen, but it's a kitchen. It's a big kitchen.
Do you cook?
Yeah, I actually started cooking in Las Vegas when Wanda and I got together. You start looking for things to keep a relationship together. You need to have common interests, And she doesn't like to play golf, but I've gotten her playing tennis now, and she really plays well. So that'll be something we can do.
So you have to go to the neighbor's house to play tennis because...
No, I have tennis
Oh,
courts.
do you?
You didn't ask.
No,
I'm
tennis
not volunteering.
How many tennis courts you got?
I have 2 clay courts.
Can you imagine though, Kenny Rogers showing up with a racket? Do you mind if I borrow your?
You have clay, two clay.
2 clay courts. Yeah.
Well, somebody's got to take care of that.
Yeah. Well, that's part of the 22 people. Though.
Oh.
You don't think I'd be like frivolous enough to have one person come in and take care of golf, take care of it? Please, do you think I just throw my money away?
What are
is
we
this?
thinking about? Jesus Christ!
I mean, show me some consideration.
All right, so now
You have $500 million, Kenny.
you could swing that.
You're worth $500 million.
Okay, let's say. All right, let's just say
Okay.
you were to go in the house. Okay. And you're going to open up all the paintings that swing open, and there's safes behind them. And you were going to pull out all the cash that's in that house and pile it on top of a table.
Liquid cash.
What are we looking at?
25,000. I mean, it's you don't want to keep any more than that around, But what happens?
You got more than that?
25,000.
You're looking at something that we aspire to.
Oh, sorry.
And you got that around the house.
Now, see, it sounds like I'm flaunting it. Now,
No, but
you
we're
ask me
asking
questions.
you. We're asking you.
No, but what happens is when you have a place that big, it's amazing how you can go through that kind of money that quick. Because someone will come in and say, "Hey, you're well broke. It's $6,000. Boom." And
Right.
so, but I mean, it's.
So you go.
I will
digging.
say this: it is a wonderful life. It's for sale. Because I really I'll tell you one.
Yeah.
It's really difficult to get to. I'm lucky I have my own plane, so I can fly into Athens, Georgia, and it's 15 minutes. They let me park my car right there, so it's kind of like my own airport. I pull up and get in the car and go. But for a person, it's a wonderful place. Had I built it closer to Atlanta, there's no telling what that thing would be worth. But as it is, it's I put it up for sale. I've just totally remodeled it. I blew the whole front of the house out. I've repainted every surface, put new carpet everywhere. I mean, it's
With the thoughts of selling it? To
yeah,
get it
yeah, because I
ready to
think that someone who comes in, I've bought enough places like that, you look for the flaws. When you're selling a house, you have to look at it like you're trying to buy it. And when you buy it, you have to look at it like you're trying to sell it. So I try to fix it up so that anyone that'll go to the trouble to get there can't say no. That's the whole
Where would you live then? I mean, where would be your main...
For Wanda's sake, I'd probably go to Atlanta because her sister lives there. If I had my way, I would go back to Las Vegas, but I think that's selfish because, I mean, there's a special thing that happens with twins. I have a brother and sister who are twins, and there's a band that if you don't recognize that band, about every 6 weeks or every 4 weeks they start tugging, boy, and they have to see their sibling, And I think that's wonderful, and I really support that. So I'd like to keep her. I mean, I have my life, and I get up and I decorate and I do things and I build things, and in Athens there's really not much for her to do. So it's fun for me to be able to say to her, I'll go to Atlanta and do this for you.
All right, we got something bubbling over here.
What you got, Rosemary?
She's dialed the. Huh?
They put me on the hold.
Was it
Who
the
did?
number?
Yes.
Who put you on hold?
It said Richie resident.
Wait a minute.
Oh my God!
So it,
Right.
Oh my
where's the
God.
20?
I didn't
20 is that right
get
there?
a chance to talk to her yet.
All I can
Send-
tell you is
Wanna
this.
take it?
Do they know? Did you tell them?
No, they put me on.
You didn't say
hold.
Mark and Brian
you tell
show?
them first. You tell them first. I don't want to be responsible.
Okay.
Oh, well, whatever friendship I had
We
is
told you, man. You
gone
watch
now.
up that damn Rolodex. We gotta hear what
$20.
Hey, baby. Hey, baby.
Oh.
Little
You can
cash.
hang up now. They got their money. That's all they want. They don't care.
But now that we know you carry 25,000 at the home, we should have asked for more.
God.
Should have held out.
I'm
We
going to
need
be
to-
robbed next month.
We did do a broadcast from over.
Well, we got to have a sawbuck and a mason jar out back, so we're okay.
All right, now
You
again.
guys really should come out there. I mean, I'm serious. You don't have to broadcast if you do. But if you're ever in Atlanta and you want to come out, wouldn't take our call.
No, they would not take the call.
See, he doesn't like me. I mean, what does it take?
What did you tell him? Did you tell him Kenny was here?
I said no. The Mark and Brian show. Well, what do you want to do? We would like to get Mr. Richie on the air. We'd like to get your permission. No, I don't think so.
So he doesn't like us. See, it's not you.
Oh, God, I feel better.
Yeah,
You
you
guys,
should.
I can't hang with you anymore. Sorry.
However, the 20 stays on the
Hey,
console.
I brought my money. I'm a man of my word.
Need we say more? Damn it! All right, we're basically going to take a break and come back and say bye ourselves. So to you, we will say thank you for coming back to the program.
Basically, you're kicking me off, right?
Well, we're done. We're
Okay.
leaving. We ourselves. You can stay here for a little
Take
longer if
their
you'd like
money
to.
and go.
All right, now
That's-
we got a gift for you though.
Okay, good.
Now this is
Oh,
our
I
latest
should tell
giveaway.
you, I'm having a hair transplant tomorrow. You guys like all the dirt.
You are
know,
not.
so- yeah, okay. So
Wait
I
a
just thought I'd leave you with that. No, I got to go now.
All right,
Well, hair where? You got hair on your head?
I know, but I'm putting more up there.
No, you're really not.
I am.
Now,
What? You don't need more hair.
All right, now, obviously, you're having it tomorrow. You've talked to the doctor about this. I always wondered, what kind of prep do you have
Well,
to do?
first of all, I've had it done twice before. You know that.
No,
That's
no.
why I have
See, we
hair
don't
on my
know.
head. Yeah.
Oh, it is not.
No, I mean, I had hair there, but it was starting to recede. And I'm
All right,
a
let me
very,
see.
very vain person.
That looks really good though.
You can't see
thank
the
you.
plugs or anything.
No, it's good.
Yeah, that's natural.
That's good
You
looking
know
hair.
that Dr. Bosley on the television thing that does it?
Well, I tell you what. I mean,
You want to go?
looking hair.
No,
No.
you guys have more hair than all of us. So
we still
that's-
got it going on.
Well, you're
but-
young men, though. One of these days, you're going to call me and say, "Hey, Kenny, who did that stuff where they stab you in the head?" What is my gift? Oh, my God.
This is going to revolutionize.
Oh, a
that
Polaroid thing.
is a paste pusher. What you do is you take the end of the tube of toothpaste and you insert it in the slot. And then as you go, you turn that thing and it squeezes all the toothpaste.
Do you know how many times I've wished this was on the market? Unbelievable.
Right, because-
all these times I've been folding my toothpaste.
Oh, yeah,
no
sure.
longer.
You're
No
so
longer.
frugal, you'll try to get all the toothpaste out of that tube.
I am now a twister. You
Yeah.
bet. Oh, this is exciting, guys. Between the $20 and the Grammy and you guys coming to my farm, I think this just about makes it even.
Well, then we're happy if you're happy.
There you go.
Now, how long is this thing? Do you have to wear a
Takes 2
bandage
hours.
around
No,
your head, though,
I'll
afterwards?
wear a baseball cap for 10 days or so.
And that's it?
Yeah.
Is
And
it
it's
a
just-
surgical procedure? Or does he
No, they
take
kind of punch holes in your head.
Good.
What you
Is
want
it
to know?
painful?
Do you have time?
Yeah.
I'll tell you. They cut about a 1/4 inch strip of your scalp, about 4 inches long, out of the back, which is permanent hair. You know, it doesn't fall into the male pattern baldness thing. And then they take it and lay it on a table, and they take them out one at a time, and they literally punch a hole, like plant it, boom, boom. Wow. And they plant it in triangles so it looks natural. And some have 1 hair, some have 2, some have 4, so it doesn't look like 1 hair. That's the old thing. But I mean, it is. I defy you to tell me where they put it in. He does great work. I mean,
Not only that, but I mean, this is not a cheap procedure. This ain't like having a tooth fairy.
No.
This is cash.
So you don't have to till the forehead or anything? I mean, they just put it right in there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Last time they gave me this stuff, like they call it Twilight, and you kind of sit there. I was watching the OJ trial. Oh my God! And I hear him going.
And you don't care.
I couldn't care less. They could have taken my arm off.
Well, thanks for the 20.
Hey, you bet.
And also on QVC, you can get a hold of Vote for Love. This is the Kenny Rogers, almost like a greatest hits, but it's a lot of his tunes and some of the greatest love songs as voted by fans of music. So that's on it. 30 songs are on there.
Kenny, it's always fun when you come in.
Thanks very much. I appreciate you guys having me.
All right, Kenny, we'll see you next time.
Okay.
Well, in the ranch. You know,
Yeah,
damn
that's
right.
Yeah,
During the
you
ranch.
bet.
Before he sells it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll sell it and they go, yeah, come on over now. Yeah, it's
And
about
then he
time to
won't
have you
be
guys
there.
out, isn't it?
I'll have Lionel over there when you guys come.
We'll take a break and come back and say goodbye ourselves. Stand by. It's the Mark and Brian radio program. 95.5 KLOS.